Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you to another episode of Top 5 LoL Plays. Our show where the plays will range from average shows all the way to the pros. But without any further ado, jumping straight into the number 5 spot is going to be a Gragas play down in the bottom lane. This Gragas is going to showcase to us what you do as a Gragas player if the enemy team does not walk into your queue. As the Gragas gets closer to the Varus is simply not walking into that queue, so the Gragas ends up throwing his ulti, pushing him right into the queue and exploding it, getting a beautiful kill. So that Gragas clip was a pretty nice way to start off this top 5 LoL plays. But continuing the trend is going to be Lee Sin play in a ranked 5v5 game as he's trying to make his way to the enemy Kha'Zix as he's doing his blue. Of course, the ward giving him the sight that he needs. As the blue buff gets lower on HP and the Kha'Zix as well, the Lee Sin finally makes his move and dives straight for the Kha'Zix, blowing him up in a matter of seconds and also picking up the blue buff. As the Lee Sin safeguards to his friendly Yasuo on the other side, an enemy Riven does make her appearance and the Yasuo and the Lee Sin are seeming to make a play on her under the turret. Naturally, the Riven is of course trying to make a play herself as the Yasuo does end up dying from a stun under the turret. But as the enemy Blitz rolls in and gets a pull onto the Lee Sin ended up getting a Q onto the Wraiths just before he got pulled and ended up escaping pretty easily. But of course the clip does not end just yet, as the enemy Blitz is chasing the very low HP Lee Sin with the double buff, as I'm sure the Blitz wants that double buff. But of course the Blitz is way over his head and the Lee Sin simply turns around and gets a kill. And now as we make our way into the third place spot, this is going to be a beautiful Zed outplay against the Caitlyn in the middle lane. This clip does begin with the Zed being ulted by the Caitlyn almost point blank range, and of course the Zed being at extremely low HP is deciding to retreat near his second turret. However, the enemy Caitlyn is somewhat bloodthirsty as she's actually pushing in the wave and sees that the Zed is backing, and she actually ends up popping the flash, trying to stop the back, and that's exactly what she did, but not in the way that she expected, as the Zed turns around, uses his ultimate onto the Caitlyn, marks her for death, and escapes beautifully. So far, there's been quite a lot of outplays in this episode, but let's continue that trend as I'm sure they are quite impressive as well. The second place spot is going to be featuring an Aurelia outplay in the top lane as she actually ended up going onto the Shen as she is one level above him, thinking that she can probably beat him in a duel. However, she did not take into account all the minion damage that she is taking as she ends up retreating from the Shen. The Shen, thinking he has the upper hand from all the armor that he has and the HP advantage, ends up popping his ghost as the chase has begun, as Aurelia is whacking away at him with her ulti as the Shen gets a taunt, but the Aurelia beautifully flashes just in time, knowing that she's lower HP, gets a stun onto him, pops the ignite, and ends up picking up a very nice turnaround kill. But now let's make our way to the first place spot featuring the one and only RF Legendary on his Nidalee. He is laning in the top lane as Nidalee, of course, against a champion that everyone is considering to be extremely overpowered, Yasuo. However, RF Legendary is here to prove to us that that is all just a myth, and with a simple outplay or two, you can definitely take down this champion. As the fight finally does erupt between the two, as RF Legendary gets a little too close to the turret, Yasuo instantly responds with a tornado into ulti as he gets RF Legendary to very low HP in a matter of seconds. The Yasuo, of course, thinking he does have the upper hand, decides to stack up his E a few times onto the minions as he pops the flash and uses his stacked E onto the Nidalee, trying to put as much damage as he can, but the tornado missing at the very end as a beautiful dodge does come out from Nidalee and the ignite picks up the kill. Alright guys, that does mark the end of this episode of Top 5 LoL Plays over here on Machinima Realm. If you did enjoy this week's episodes, please down below do throw in a like and also write down a comment which play you enjoyed the most. I'd also recommend checking out my own personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/redmercy, for more League of Legends content. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I hope to see you next time. Peace.